Patrick White, a true blue Aussie, was a literary giant whose works have left an indelible mark on the world of literature. Born in 1912 in London to Australian parents, White spent much of his early life in Australia, a land that would deeply influence his writing. His unique perspective and profound understanding of the human condition allowed him to craft stories that resonate with readers across generations. White's writing changed the way we see ourselves, offering a mirror to the Australian identity and experience. His characters are often complex, flawed, and deeply human, reflecting the diverse and multifaceted nature of Australian society. Through his stories, White explored themes of isolation, identity, and the struggle for meaning in a vast and often unforgiving landscape. In 1973, White was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, a monumental achievement that cemented his place in the pantheon of great writers. The Nobel Prize is a big deal for any writer, but for White it was a recognition of his ability to capture the essence of the Australian spirit and convey it to the world. His acceptance speech was a testament to his humility and dedication to his craft. One of White's most celebrated works is Voss, published back in 1957. This novel is often regarded as his masterpiece, a towering achievement in Australian literature. Voss tells the story of an ambitious and enigmatic explorer, Johann Ulrich Voss, who embarks on a perilous journey into the heart of the Australian outback. The novel is a profound exploration of the human spirit, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of dreams. The Australian outback, with its vast, rugged, and often inhospitable terrain, serves as the backdrop for Voss's journey. It's a place of harsh beauty and hidden dangers, where the landscape itself becomes a formidable character in the story. White's vivid descriptions of the outback bring it to life, making readers feel the scorching heat, the biting cold, and the overwhelming sense of isolation that the characters experience. The outback is more than just a setting in Voss. It's a character itself, shaping the people who dare to enter its domain. The vastness of the landscape mirrors the inner struggles of the characters as they grapple with their own fears, desires, and limitations. The outback tests their resolve, pushing them to their physical and emotional limits. White's portrayal of the outback is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. It's a place of stark contrasts where beauty and danger coexist in a delicate balance. The outback's unforgiving nature forces the characters to confront their own vulnerabilities and strengths, ultimately leading to moments of profound self-discovery and transformation. White's writing is like the outback itself, powerful and unforgettable. His prose is rich and evocative, capturing the essence of the Australian landscape and the complexities of the human experience. Through Voss and his other works, Patrick White has left an enduring legacy, one that continues to inspire and challenge readers around the world. His ability to weave together the physical and emotional landscapes of his characters is a testament to his genius as a writer. Johann Ulrich Voss, a stubborn and driven explorer, is at the heart of this story. Born in Germany, Voss was a man who seemed out of place in the civilized world. His heart yearned for the wild, the untamed, and the unknown. He was a man who felt more at home under the vast skies of the Australian outback than in the bustling streets of any city. His obsession with conquering the outback, this vast and unforgiving land, consumed him. It was not just about the physical challenge, it was about proving something to himself and to the world. Voss believed that by conquering the outback, he could conquer his own inner demons. He was a complicated bloke, driven by ambition, but also a thirst for something more. He was not just seeking fame or fortune, he was seeking a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. Voss was a man who believed that the journey was more important than the destination. He assembled a ragtag bunch of explorers, each with their own reasons for joining him on this perilous journey. Some were seeking adventure, others were running from their past, but all were united by a common goal: to conquer the outback. They set off into the unknown, facing harsh weather, difficult terrain, and countless other challenges. Little did they know the outback was about to test them in ways they never imagined. It was a journey that would push them to their limits, both physically and mentally. But for Voss, it was a journey that would ultimately define him. It was a journey that would reveal the true nature of his character and the depths of his determination. It was a journey that would show the world what it truly means to be possessed by the outback. The Australian outback, with its vast, open spaces and harsh conditions, was a place that few dared to venture into. It was a land of extremes where temperatures could soar to unbearable heights during the day and plummet to freezing lows at night. The landscape was both beautiful and brutal, with its red deserts, rugged mountains and sparse vegetation. It was a place that demanded respect and tested the limits of human endurance. For Voss, the outback was not just a physical challenge, it was a spiritual one. He believed that by conquering the outback, he could conquer his own inner demons. He was a man who was constantly pushing himself to the edge, seeking to prove something to himself and to the world. His obsession with the outback consumed him, driving him to take risks that others would have deemed foolish. But for Voss, the outback was a place of possibility, a place where he could find the answers he was seeking. The journey into the outback was not an easy one. The harsh conditions and unforgiving terrain tested the limits of Voss and his team. They faced scorching heat, freezing cold and treacherous landscapes. But through it all, Voss remained determined. He was a man possessed, driven by a vision that only he could see. His determination inspired his team, pushing them to keep going even when the odds seemed insurmountable. They trekked through the barren desert, climbed rugged mountains and navigated through dense bushland. Each step brought them closer to their goal, but also closer to the realization that the outback was a force to be reckoned with. It was a journey that would test their physical and mental endurance, but also their spirit and resolve. Voss was a man of contradictions. He was driven by ambition, but also by a deep sense of curiosity and wonder. He was a man who sought to conquer the outback, but also to understand it. He spent hours studying maps, planning routes, and contemplating the challenges ahead. But despite his meticulous planning, the outback had a way of throwing unexpected obstacles in his path. It was a place that demanded adaptability and resilience, qualities that Voss possessed in abundance. He was a man who thrived on challenges, who saw each obstacle as an opportunity to learn and grow. His journey into the outback was not just a physical one, but a journey of self-discovery. It was a journey that would reveal the true nature of his character and the depths of his determination. Voss's team was a diverse group of individuals, each with their own reasons for joining the expedition. Some were seasoned explorers, others were novices seeking adventure. But all were united by a common goal: to conquer the outback. They faced countless challenges along the way, from harsh weather to difficult terrain, but through it all they remained determined. They were a team that was driven by a shared vision, inspired by Voss's unwavering determination. They trekked through the wilderness, facing each challenge with courage and resilience. It was a journey that would test their limits, but also bring them closer together. They were a team that was united by a common goal, but also by a shared sense of purpose and camaraderie. Little did they know, the outback was about to test them in ways they never imagined. The harsh conditions and unforgiving terrain pushed them to their limits, both physically and mentally. They faced scorching heat, freezing cold, and treacherous landscapes. But through it all, they remained determined. They were a team that was driven by a shared vision, inspired by Voss's unwavering determination. It was a journey that would test their limits, but also reveal the true nature of their character. It was a journey that would show the world what it truly means to be possessed by the outback. The journey begins with hope, as the first light of dawn breaks over the vast Australian outback. The explorers, a group of determined men, set out with a sense of purpose and excitement. They're driven by the promise of discovery and the thrill of the unknown. Each face tells a story of anticipation and resolve. The men are not just adventurers, they are pioneers, ready to chart a course through uncharted territory. Their eyes gleam with the spirit of adventure and their hearts beat with the rhythm of the wild. Armed with maps and compasses, they meticulously plan their route. Every mark on the map represents a step into the unknown, a challenge to be overcome. They are determined to make their mark on the map, to be the first to cross this daunting land. The weight of history rests on their shoulders, but they are undeterred. The journey is not easy. They face scorching deserts that stretch endlessly under the blazing sun, dense bush that seems impenetrable, and treacherous mountains that test their endurance. Each step is a testament to their courage and resilience. Each day brings new challenges, pushing the men to their limits. The harsh environment takes its toll, and exhaustion is a constant companion. Yet they press on, driven by the dream of what lies beyond the horizon. Their faces, etched with fatigue, also reflect an unyielding determination. But as they venture deeper into the outback, they're also venturing deeper into their own souls. The vast, untamed landscape mirrors their inner journey. In the silence of the wilderness, they find moments of introspection and clarity. The outback is not just a physical challenge, it is a journey of self-discovery. Each step forward is a step towards understanding themselves and their place in the world. The expedition is as much about conquering the land as it is about conquering their own fears and doubts. The Australian outback, with its raw beauty and unforgiving terrain, becomes a canvas for their personal growth and transformation. The outback throws everything it has at Voss and his crew. Drought, starvation, and disease cripple the expedition. The men start to turn on each other, their dreams of glory fading with their strength. Through it all, Voss remains resolute, his will unbroken. He battles not just the physical hardships, but the demons within himself. Letters from the Edge, Laura and Voss, bound by distance. Back in civilization, Laura Trevelyan, a young woman of independent spirit, forms a deep connection with Voss through letters. Their relationship, strange and intense, unfolds against the backdrop of the expedition's struggles. Laura, in her own way, embarks on a journey of self-discovery, mirroring Voss's own quest for meaning in the wilderness. Voss isn't just an adventure story, it's about the search for something more. The outback becomes a symbol of the human spirit's potential and its limits. It's a place of both terror and transcendence. White forces us to confront the darkness within ourselves and the possibility of finding light in the most unexpected places. The expedition's fate, I won't spoil it for you, becomes a legend whispered around campfires. Voss, whether a hero or a madman, leaves an indelible mark on the land and the people he encountered. Was it a victory or a defeat? White leaves that for us to ponder, reminding us that sometimes the journey matters more than the destination. Voss remains a landmark achievement in Australian literature. It's a story that stays with you long after you've finished reading it, its themes echoing in the vast spaces of our imagination. White's masterpiece forces us to ask big questions about ambition, identity, and our place in the world. Voss is more than just a good yarn. It's a reflection on what it means to be Australian. The outback, with its beauty and brutality, becomes a metaphor for our national character. White challenges us to look beyond the surface and confront the complexities of our history and our relationship with this ancient land.